Hey guys, Drutter here. It's July 31st, 2012, and the sun has returned to Vancouver. We've been having an on and off year, but much better than the last 2 years where we didn't see the sun for more than a couple of days the entire year. Something really was weird there for a while. Now we're back to sort of on and off, decent weather, so it's enough to keep the garden growing, and that's what I like to see. As you can see, I have a few clusters of small cherry tomatoes on this plant here. Lettuce is doing well. I'm gonna actually start picking this for a salad tonight. Looks like someone's already had a little munch there. But I have some small hot peppers appearing on this plant. My other tomato plant back there is flowering now as well. And the potatoes are quite bushy and green and make the garden look quite nice. So I'm enjoying this small garden patch this year, and I may expand it out a little bit in that direction next year. This soil's not that great. It just it needs a lot of organic stuff added to it, so I'll put some compost and maybe some mushroom manure or something like that in here in the spring. But it is doing fairly well. And as you know, I have a couple other gardens, one over with my kids, and it's doing well. They're really happy. We're learning a lot and having a lot of fun. And one other garden at my grandmother's house, and that one's doing quite well as well. I don't have any recent footage of the plants there, but some of them are up to waist high now, so pretty decent for July in the lower mainland of Vancouver area. But yeah. Next, what I was going to mention before I went inside and had a look at the silver charts and stuff was that power outage in India. Now, about 700 million people were without power for, I don't know how long it was, a couple of days? It's actually still ongoing. They're working on it now, obviously, but that's the kind of thing that can happen. I mean, that's double the population of the United States. That's like all of North America's population. It's it's a significant number of people, and these aren't, mud hut dwelling people living in the mountains. These are actually, a lot of these people, these 700,000 people without power, were living in cities and Western style sort of, it's not Western, but it's much more Western than a lot of people think India is. It's quite an industrialized nation now. A lot of call centers and whatnot over there, but yeah, they were without power for a couple of days, and a lot of them are still without power. That's the kind of thing that can happen. And are we prepared for that here? I don't know. Maybe some of us are, but a lot of us aren't. For example, do you know where your flashlight is? What if the lights go out and it's not daytime, and you're not sleeping or whatever? Do you have a flashlight that you know exactly where it is? Do you have candles and a lighter? Do you have emergency first aid? Do you have emergency food and water? Do you have a source of heating, a source of cooling, whatever else you may need for your immediate survival? Is that all taken care of? Or are you just hoping that we never get anything like that? Because it certainly can happen. And there's been many times in the last decade or so where we were very close to having the entire grid go down in Canada or the US. I can name a few different instances that I'm aware of. There was probably more, but we've managed to avoid it just barely several times. So just consider that and be a little bit more prepared. As my grandfather would say, he was a big proponent of the Scouts. Be prepared. That's the Scout motto, and I agree with that. Be prepared. Are we prepared for that? I'll link you down below to some charts that I enjoy looking at from time to time. These are monthly charts, so it's going back all the way to 2002, which is nice because it gives you the whole bull run in one look. And this is sort of, that's the bottom, the all-time kind of bottom at $4 back in 2002. Man, I wish I can go back in time. But it shows you the direction of silver, and a lot of people have said, oh, that's it, we're going back down to $4 or whatever. What kind of a chart would that look like if this dropped off to $4 right now? And have you ever seen a chart that did that? I don't know. But this allows you to see the direction that we're headed. And yeah, there have been pullbacks along the way. Look at 2008 there. That's that big crash. I mean, we've had sort of the same kind of thing here in 2011 and ongoing into 2012. So it is clear, the direction to me anyhow, which way we're going. And there's the gold there, even less volatile, following that trend lined right up as the currency is debased and more fiat is printed off the printing presses. I know they're doing a ton of it in Europe right now. United States and the rest of the world is probably following along close behind. And Bernanke speaks tomorrow. That's Wednesday, and we'll see what he says. Probably more of the same, but you never know. People are saying it's getting close to that time when QE is going to be necessary to keep the economy from collapsing completely. So those are some good charts I like to check out now and then. Here's the daily nominal silver chart. Each of those candles is 1 day. So you can see that we've come down to 26, bounced along, skidded along the 26 support line, and now we've lifted off slightly and we're in the high 27s, low 28s today. But I don't think it's any cause for any kind of celebrations or any kind of major buying or selling right now. This is the same situation we've been in for look how many months. We came into this range at the beginning of May, so May, June, July, and well, tomorrow's August, so 3 full months where we've been just sitting here, just bouncing along. 26, 27, 26, 27, 26, 28, 27, 26. So yeah, we're up a little bit over the last couple of days, but just take it with a grain of salt. We'll see tomorrow what Ben Bernanke has to say and go from there. But this is always a good time to be stacking physical metal, especially if you're holding for the long term like I am, something like retirement or kids' college funds. Yeah, this is a steal of a deal in my opinion. But you do your own research, of course. I'm back in that cornfield, but it's doing a lot better than it was before. This section actually is lower than the rest. I can see over it, but as you can tell, a lot of it's over there is over my head. So corn's doing fairly well here in the lower mainland of Vancouver, which is actually a pretty good agricultural region. We're like a river basin kind of thing. A lot of food gets grown here. I'm going to put a link to a video from Why Gold and Silver. That's my friend Dan, and he just posted this video of Mike Maloney on Russia Today. Pretty good interview. I would recommend checking it out. I haven't finished the whole thing yet, but it's about halfway through and it's quite good so far, and Mike Maloney usually interviews quite well, so have a look at that. A subscriber of mine, Lil Bro Markey, has sent me this case with a CD in it, and it's called the Symphony of Science. You may have seen them on YouTube. They're basically quotations and speeches from famous scientists and astronomers and philosophers and so forth, set to music, and their voices are auto-tuned so that it creates a song out of it, and it's quite clever, and some of the stuff they talk about in there is just amazing. It's hard to describe really, but it's the kind of thing that someone who isn't religious can get spiritual about, if you know what I mean. Yeah, it's called the Symphony of Science, and this is limited to 300 copies here. Thank you very much for this case and the CD. I'm going to enjoy it immensely, and I am going to share it with a lot of friends as well, so thanks so much for sending that along. Oh, that was terrible. Have a great week, guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Hey guys, it's Strutter. It's August the 13th, 2017, and I'm just out in my garden taking a quick video of how things are going so far. Oh God, I wish.